What is going on, everybody? We are back at it again after a week hiatus. We are back with the goodness. I am Kwaman Star G. We are your keys to the MulDiverse. This is MulDiversity, and today we have something extraordinarily great for you guys. We have something so awesome, so cool that we just can't wait to show it with you. We have a special guest, and so let me go ahead and bring everybody in. Let's start off first with Miss Joe.
Hey everybody, it's me, Joe.
And now we're going to throw it to Avia.
What's up?
And now for our special guest, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Sam Benjamin himself.
How we doing?
Woo! Hello. Hello. I want to jump right in and ask you about yourself and how you got connected with this whole Snyder Cut Justice League fandom thing, how your name got rolled into this.
Well, I don't know where you want me to start. Obviously, I auditioned for it and then did the audition, got told that I was cast in it, and then went to the Warner Brothers lot for a couple of days, filmed it, and then you know what? It's been a really interesting journey because I filmed it, and from the acting point of view, you film it and you're like, oh, that's awesome. It was brief, but it was cool, and I'm really proud to be part of it. Obviously, being directed by Zack Snyder is still one of my career highlights, even though it was just for a brief moment. And then you, as an actor, you film it, then you forget about it, and you think, because otherwise you'll just go mad. You'll be like, oh, when's it out? So filmed it, and then obviously takes a while, and then this one took even longer because of certain directorial changes.
Yes.
And then fast forward, you find out, Whedon's directing it, and then you hear people are getting called in for reshoots. I never did. So then I thought, well, I'm probably not. I might not be in it. It's very possible that my moment might not be in it. So I was kind of prepared, and then got invited to the premiere or the cast and crew screening at Leicester Square. But I got told in advance of that, I think, that I wasn't in the final cut. So I just went as a fan and thought, hey, well, it's Justice League, and everyone's here, and and then filmed that, and then it came out, and then I was just plodding along as an actor, auditioning, getting parts, not getting parts, filming stuff, not filming stuff, and then the bubble of the release, the Snyder Cut, started to form, and then you think, oh, okay, that's interesting. The fans really want Zack's vision, and I personally was pretty disappointed and gutted because I really loved where Zack was taking the DC universe. But I just thought, okay, well, they're not going in that route, and then I guess I did like a couple of random interviews that I thought no one was going to watch, and then people started to go, oh, what about this guy, and pulling up pictures of me. And then as I spoke on the Lightcast podcast, a few quite big people with lots of followers mocked me up in Green Lantern uniform, and then it just built, and then Zack liked one of the images from Liz Wonder, and then it exploded even more. And then I don't know what your guys' perspective was, but part of me felt like that Zack liking it was him adding fuel to the release the Snyder Cut fire. So then that unraveled, and then lots of things happened. The pandemic happened, HBO Max happened. People then started to realize, hang on, we've missed a trick here, because he was onto something great. And then since then, I've been having lots of interactions with people, or at least getting loads of messages and fan art and things like that. So yeah, and now here we are, and it's been a bit of a crazy journey.
Oh, wow, that is crazy. And yeah, I remember a lot of people thought that Zack liking the mock-up was not just fuel to the Snyder Cut fire, but his kind of hint that maybe you were actually going to be a certain character in the cut.
Yeah.
And so this is interesting. I mean, so do you think that you'll end up like, in the Star Wars canon, there's all these little characters that are, have become like cult classics, like the guy that carries the ice cream maker. Do you think you'll become one of those characters in the, history of the Snyder Cut, like a legend?
That's a great question. I honestly don't know. And if there's one thing I've learned over the past couple of years, it's that the fans make the DCU what it is. So it's unknown, because I wouldn't have guessed that I'd be here talking to you guys a couple of years ago. I thought it just would have, Whedon's Justice League would have come out, and then that was that. So I don't know, which is why I've gone with the option of I'm just gonna keep it real, keep it honest, be thankful, and I feel blessed to be considered in the manner that I've been considered within the DC universe. And the truth is, I still don't really know if I'm in, if my moment is in the Snyder Cut, and if it is, I don't know how big of a moment it will be, because it depends how they cover it, how they film it, etc., etc. So I'm literally, I'm just being honest. I'm in the unknown, but whatever happens, I feel blessed, and I feel happy that I've had so much support. And even today, I'm getting tweets saying, "Oh, he's my pick for Hal Jordan," and things like this. And so, and I, that just puts a big smile on my face. And as some people have seen me talk before, I grew up on action movies. I grew up reading comic books. I grew up on, the Batman animated series. And, to me, especially in this world, 2021, more than ever, and this last year in the pandemic, it's made me realize like what is important. And as an actor, everyone, the actor dream is often to win the Oscar or win the BAFTA or win the Golden Globe and give the speech. But I've realized I'd take it, but it's not why I'm here. I'd rather inspire people, especially people from less fortunate backgrounds, to follow their dreams. And I think a great way to do that is to play one of these iconic characters that people relate to. And some of the messages I've got have been actually unbelievable, how much impact these characters have. So the overall answer to the question is I have no idea. But I feel blessed already. So whatever happens is whatever happens.
Okay. Avia, Q, you guys want to come in with a question?
Yeah, I have a question. Being on set with Zack for a few days, what was his approach as a director? I'm very curious. And you as an actor, I know that had to be awesome. Like, what was his approach to directing the scenes that you were in?
Yeah, I mean, so my main memory of it was, I remember initially there was a lot of setup, and there was a lot of, as there is on set, if you don't know, there's a lot of waiting around. So I remember waiting around a lot, getting ready, makeup, costume, all of that. And then there was a lot of like, oh, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen here? And I was, you don't know what's going to happen when you get signed to a project, or you book a role in a project with a massive director, and also a huge director who has a very distinctive style, and a style that you know and love. It can be quite nerve-wracking, because you think, well, because they always say, don't they? They always say, be careful when you meet your heroes, because it might ruin it. So I was prepared to think, well, hey, he could come in and it just be very workmanlike and like, this is what we're doing, here we go. So if you can do that, please. And then, yeah, let's do it again. But he was one of the most hands-on directors I've ever worked with. And I always remember he made a point of, there was obviously, this is the Warner Brothers lot, there's a lot of people around. And I remember I was just waiting there at one point, and I don't even know if he remembers this or if this is even that big a deal to him, but I just remember thinking, I haven't met Zack yet. I'm in this film, but hey, he might just turn up and look at some directors just sit back on the monitor and just go, okay, and whether it be tell the first AD to radio in to Sam what to do, that happens sometimes on set, and then the first AD will go, oh, Sam, yeah, the director wants you to do this, and then you go, oh, okay, cool, and then you might say, oh, does he want it like this or like this, and then he relays it on the radio, and then it comes back. So sometimes that happens, but with this it totally wasn't. And I actually remember a bit where I thought that was going to be what it was like, and then the first AD grabbed me and was like, where's Sam Benjamin, and I was like, yep. And then he grabs me and pulls me through all these people. And it was like a crowd of people. He pulls me through. And then Zack was just, in my mind anyway, Zack was just standing there in his waistcoat looking slick. And I'm like, and then he was just waiting for me. And he just walked right up to me and he shook my hand and he was like, hey, Sam, thanks for coming on, and all this. And we had a bit of a chat, and then when we were actually doing the stuff, he was so hands-on. He was almost jumping into the scene himself, and he was like figuring it out and getting into the thick of the scene, and you could see his brain working. So it was a pleasure to watch him work, really. And whatever, and then he'd say, and he was very collaborative as well, he'd say, oh, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And you go, yeah, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, it's like, it's your movie, dude. So yeah.
Sorry?
No, I said it's like it's your movie, dude. Whatever you want. I mean,
I got my ideas, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, and then the other memory I remember is, I remember there was a break, and they had this tent that with a juice bar that made any juice you wanted, and you'd go in, you'd just be like, I want that in it, that in it, that in it, that in it, that in it. And it's one of those things, as someone who grew up in quite a working class town, and also being British as well, when somebody offers you things that's awesome, you go, oh, really? Well, all right. I mean, I guess I'll have the. Can I just have anything? And then they'll be like, yes, you can have anything. Okay. Well, I mean, what, any of this stuff? And they're like, yes. And of course, like, just give me the stuff. So that was fun. And then we, he was. We had shared a little laugh and a joke in that tent. And then I also met Jeff Johns whilst I was in that tent. And it was really weird because he was like hovering around wearing a baseball cap, and it felt like a lot of the people weren't really giving him any attention or anything. He was just standing there. And then I just thought, oh, that's Jeff Johns just standing there. So I just went, oh, Jeff. And he went, yeah. And then I was like, oh, it's you. And he goes, yeah. And then so we had a little chat. And at the time, I just finished reading Batman Earth 1. So I said, oh, I've got to be honest, Batman Earth 1, bloody loved it. And you caught me with a few surprises in that. And then he was like, oh, thanks so much. So overall, yeah, on set, it was just really great vibes, great atmosphere. Everyone was feeling good. Everyone was into it. And yeah, Zack was just everything that I was hoping he would be. He's a visionary, and he's just awesome to watch.
That's great.
And I have another question. All the rumors, going around that you were going to play, Hal Jordan or now Captain Atom. Who's your superhero, and who in the Snyderverse, who would you love to play?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. If you could pick.
What a question. Well, it's tricky as well because you've already got several characters boxed off. And the character, the actors that are already, because I might as well say straight up, my childhood favorite is always Batman. He was I think maybe like a lot of people, Batman was my gateway drug into the DC universe.
So you hear that?
Yeah, there we go.
Sam Benjamin wants to replace Ben Affleck. You heard it here. Sam Benjamin wants to replace Ben Affleck. You heard it here.
So yeah, Batman was my gateway drug into the universe. But yeah, I mean, I then start getting into the other members of the Justice League. A few people have said before the Green Lantern stuff, a few people have said that I would be a good Nightwing or a good Dick Grayson. I've heard that a few times.
I can see that.
Like my one of my friends, he just got a Nightwing action figure for his little son, and he sent me a WhatsApp video of it, and he was like, "It's you!"
Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, I'm delaying how to answer this question because obviously people might judge because they've combed through my tweets and all that I do actually love the spirit of Hal Jordan, that maverick vibe, that that heroic determination, but it also, there's also that cheekiness as well, which I love playing characters, and I have been playing quite a few characters in my career. I don't know, like I Am Vengeance, for example. The Variety review of that said that, called my character a happy, flirty warrior, and thought, I'll take that all day long.
Yeah.
So, and I think Hal Jordan he does have that, that maverick need for speed, and you throw him into a situation and you can see him, keeping people on their toes and, dropping a few cheeky lines to, any women in the universe that he might be feeling, or, or pulling people up on say, hey, what's the deal with that? So I do like that spirit that he has. So there's a few options.
Okay, so let's get a rumor started right now. Okay, so you named off, Nightwing. You named off Hal. What would you like people saying that you played in this movie? Like, if you could like pick the rumor, who would you be in this movie?
I
mean, you can add a character as well. I mean, this is like, it's like your world here. Q, you want to help out? I mean, where could we see?
Who do you see? There's a question.
Before I get into that, I just want to say, when you say Maverick and everything, I just imagine, damn, Sam, you would really fit in a Mission Impossible movie with Tom Cruise. I can really see you and him kicking ass left and right.
Okay, even better rumor. Sam Benjamin's going to be the next Tom Cruise, and yeah, like the handoff man, and you can be like the new guy. I mean, because I've seen like your action work and your footwork. Yeah, you could do that. You could totally do it.
Yeah, well, I've always thought, I did the odd time I've thought of, I've had this vision of writing a script of Ethan Hunt having a younger brother, long lost, and then him showing up, and maybe him being a bad guy initially, and Ethan Hunt not trusting him, and then the secret being revealed later on in the movie. But I love. Thank you, Q. I love the Mission Impossible movies, and he's got that maverick vibe, which I just love. And the other thing as well I love about Ethan Hunt, which I guess is something similar to Hal Jordan, is and I think, which contrasts to the likes of Batman and Superman, is that I like that Ethan Hunt gets his arse kicked a lot in those films.
He does.
Every fight he's in, he takes a battering, but he keeps getting up. And he keeps going for it, and that's what makes him the Maverick. Because he's not like he's not a chess player like Batman. He hasn't got it all. He might have a plan, but he's riffing, and he's like, it's that like moment that I love in life when you're faced with the obstacles again, and you're thinking, oh, and then you go, I guess I'm just gonna have to get back in there.
Yeah.
We're about to add Aaron.
Go ahead.
Aaron is here, so we're gonna add him in.
Yeah, what's up?
How's it going, Aaron?
Oh, it's
Hey.
going amazing. What's up, everybody?
Hello. So we were just talking about Sam as in the next Mission Impossible, you know, kind of like a, you know, the brother of
Ethan Hunt.
Yeah, Ethan Hunt. And then
I would like to see it.
Like a handoff type of thing, right? But I still want to answer to if you could be any character in Zack Snyder's Justice League, even if you can bring one in, because I'm trying to start a rumor here. You know,
Okay.
we're trying to, you know, the Green Lantern one is played on for like 2 years. We need something fresh, you know. So can we like a new character even? I mean, Aaron, Q, if you guys got any ideas, who could Sam be? There you go, Captain.
Or you can be you can be White Adam with the Rock being Black Adam. You can be White Adam.
White Adam.
Oh, I like that.
But yeah, I would love to see you as a Captain Adam type deal. Or you could be a nice I want to say a nice Deathstroke son, who not Jericho. Not Jericho, the older one that, you know, tried to take up the mantle before Deathstroke got back into being Deathstroke. You definitely would fit the bill for either one of those two, in my opinion.
That's interesting.
Or Scott Free, Mr. Miracle.
There it is. I would like to see him as a, you know, I'd like to see him as a New God character. I can see it.
Okay.
Any particulars, Aaron? Any particulars you have in mind?
I'm kind of down for Scott Free. I could see that. I could absolutely see that.
Are you familiar with a New God, Sam, at all?
Not as much as like other like versions of the DCU. No. So what? Give me the Scott. What's the rundown on Scott?
Oh, here I go. It's time to pitch now. Okay, it's time to pitch. Scott Free is a young man who was born on New Genesis, who, thanks to a awful pact with Darkseid, he is now have to live on Apocalypse. Because of that, he cannot stand it when he is about, what would you say, Avia, like mid-20s, young adult-ish. Yeah. He's ready to get the hell out of Dodge on Apocalypse. He leaves, thus breaking the pact that originally started everything. And because of his Disney-ness, where, you know, I want to be free, everything goes to hell, and it's an all-out war, a galactic war, and he is one of the greatest characters because he is like the greatest escape artist in the universe. Like, he is so cool, and, you know, it's just like him being from Apocalypse, but being born from Highfather on New Genesis. He's like nothing like either of those, and he wants to be his own person, and it's a very big idea. Love it.
Yeah, have you been approached about the New Gods movie, Sam?
No, I did an audition. I've auditioned for in the past for The Flash and Titans. But both of those, I was auditioning for villains, which I thought, hey, I reckon I could do this one. But I'd, as I've said before, I'd rather go for a hero than a villain in the DC.
Okay,
the DC
so
world.
When they start casting for New Gods, this is your role right here. You got it right here. Yeah,
I could see
it. So let's move on. I mean, I want to move on from the Snyder Cut because I feel like you've answered a lot of the questions already. And everywhere else.
Quick thing, I also see, Sam, you would be an awesome Red Hood.
Yeah.
All right.
You be an awesome Red Hood.
I could see that.
Where would the Red Hood be popping up in this in the Justice League though? in this
Hey,
movie.
I say any type of live action Red Hood Sam would kill it. You know, whether
Like
it's
when Darkseid comes up, they just throw everybody at the screen. Like every character just goes.
Well, there is the mystery of a certain Robin that died at the hands of the Joker, perhaps. If the Snyderverse continues.
You heard it here, people.
Heard it here first.
I mean. So I want to talk about this guy. I don't know if fans know beyond the Snyder Cut. You're pretty interesting because you have this knowledge of films. We started talking in email about Coming to America 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then you started talking about other films, 80s films, Eddie Murphy films that are, common Black canon, but not common with people outside of the Black community, especially people that are, across the, the ocean.
Across the pond.
Yeah, the pond. Yeah. And so I wanted to go there. First of all, what did you think about Coming to America 2?
I went in with low expectations just for my own safety.
Yeah.
And I really loved it. I think the key thing is that I was smiling all the way through. I was laughing all the way through. And whether that be because we were just spending time with the characters we've missed, I wonder if someone hadn't seen Coming to America and seen it in their formative years, I wonder if it'd be as special. But I loved it, and I thought they did some fresh things that worked. Like Wesley Snipes' character, I loved, and I thought you could tell he was having a blast. And yeah, there was just nice nods to the old, but also it brought in some new as well. So yeah, I loved it, and I loved the soundtrack as well. Great song choices. Get Off was my particular fave. I was like, yeah, and Prince in there, yes. So yeah, that was my particular highlight. Apart from Mr. Randy Watson at the end giving us "We Are Family" by Sister Sledge, that was also awesome.
Yeah, I just watched it last night for the first time, and for me as a Black man and just a Black person in general, I always love to see when an ensemble Black cast just get to have fun and create and play in their own imagination, and just do great things. Like the fact that for 30 years McDowell's thrived as a legitimate rival to McDonald's, and because like if I'm remembering it correctly. Because if I was remembering correctly, back in the day when the first one came out, they legally couldn't use McDonald's.
Right.
And now that they are big time, they can actually reference McDonald's and still keep McDowell's. So that was awesome to see. And then the parallels to the first one and the second one dealing with, kind of like a cycle of it and breaking that cycle for the betterment. And then how everyone came together as one big happy family unit, no falling out or nothing. Everybody just get to have fun.
Yeah,
you gotta love it. I am looking for Gladys Knight's Midnight Train to Zamunda on Spotify.
So if you locate that one, anyone, please drop a link and tag me, okay? Yeah. So yeah, I agree with what you said. I think I've been, saying this to even fellow critics. If you didn't see the first one, and it's not like watching the first one like a month ago and then watching, you can't do that. You had to have seen it years ago. Years ago. So I know I was a kid. Well, yeah, kid-ish. When I saw the first time. Where were you guys when you saw Coming to America the first time? How old?
I was 1 year old, and I was a 1 year old.
You remember from 1 year old?
No, I just know my mama said, "Oh, I watched Coming to America with you when you were old." So, that's
okay.
I think I was 10 with my brothers, watching it with my brothers. Yeah, and in the room, I think I was like 10 when I first saw it.
Yeah, so I'm like, I know I was an age I probably shouldn't have been watching it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
That was me. You too, Sam.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been in the I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't have seen it until the 90s. I think late 90s probably. But I can't remember who I would have watched it with. But I was a big. My dad loved Eddie Murphy and Wesley Snipes for that matter. So I used to watch every Eddie Murphy and Wesley Snipes movie with him. So it might have been with him actually. But yeah, I just loved it. And interesting when you were talking about Q. To your point, a friend of mine who's an actress and she's actually in The Few. She's called Kyla Fry. She shared an article with me about how apparently in the first Coming to America, the studio put pressure on them to like put white characters in.
Oh.
But I think Coming to America is a prime example of how it doesn't. I think people. It's almost like people don't realize that if you make good characters, every audience doesn't care like what color they are. It's like if you make a good character and you tell a good story, people don't care. Like it's a character, you know what I mean? So I think Coming to America, seeing films like that when you're younger is important, especially if you're not a person, coming from a white background or whatever, then you early on you go, oh yeah, and you're not thinking about any of the politics to do with it or any of that. So I think it's also got that positive message to it as well, the sequel.
Absolutely.
It does. And so seeing Coming to America that early probably led to the electric slide moment on Instagram that we saw.
Hold on, Joe. One second.
Oh,
Yeah, so this is the segment called Mr. Benjamin, Please Explain Yourself.
All right.
Where did these moves come from? But
I'm in the blue jacket, if anyone's wondering.
Woo, man. You definitely thrown down.
Yes. And it's not the little herky jerky, movements that we're so used to. And, we get our white friends, learning this for the first time. So, I mean, explain yourself. I mean, well, not explain yourself, not like the mean version, but where did you learn those moves? Where did you get that from?
I don't even know where to start. How far back to go? First of all, that was my good friend Antonio's wedding, so shout out to him. We had a blast. I mean, I don't know where to start really. I always like to talk about my home city of Liverpool and how I like to think that we have one of the best tastes in music in the world, and therefore we are always in tune, especially I'd like to think more than the rest of the UK, with Black American music. That's why the Beatles emerged, was because they were digging Little Richard and all of the blues and rock and roll. They were just taken from that sound. So yeah, and then my mum, she's an 80s soul, funk, R&B woman, so she always had those tunes playing. Alexander O'Neill, I've been to see him live 5 times with my mum. We grew up on Luther Vandross, Prince, Patrice, Russian, all of those. So yeah, I've always loved that, and my family has always been quite a dancing family. We have whenever there's a family do, as we call it, there's always a DJ and a dance floor, and that's usually the highlight of the night. So I guess it comes from that. And then growing up, I tell you what, I got a big education from Michael Jackson in many aspects of, in dance, in music, in maybe even in taste in women. From his music videos, I think he doesn't get enough credit for introducing world audiences to lots of elements of Black music, Black culture. So yeah, and then I've always been I like to say a bit of a dancer. So yeah, that's why you go out, isn't it?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I also love throwing down on the dance floor, Sam. So when this panorama is over and hopefully we can link up. We can go ahead and tear the club up a new one.
But that's also
Yeah.
the other thing, obviously, as the guys in the room right now will testify, is that if you've got a brain, you learn very quick when you start to come of an age where you want to attract women that they like guys who can dance.
True.
So you go, oh, okay, that's interesting. You know what I mean? So, does that I don't even know if that answers the question.
Yeah, that does. And since Q threw himself in there, Q, go ahead and show him your dance moves. I know you've been itching to.
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
Man, Sam, you finna blow your mind real quick. Hold on.
It's all right.
Oh, I like those splits. Those splits. That's the winner right there.
Once I started throwing down like that, the ladies stopped me. I didn't know what else to do. And it was so weird because when I walked into the club, there were no ladies, and then when I just started moving, they just materialized.
Yeah, that's the magic of Q.
Yes, it is. We were supposed to do some trivia today. Did you guys want to move over to that, or did we want to ask more questions about of Sam and what he does?
All my secrets.
More secrets. Yeah.
I have a question for you, but this is not on topic to anything like DC related or anything like that. But you know,
it's gonna get weird. Okay.
I promise you it won't be weird. Being the wrestling fan that you are, do you keep up with wrestling currently and anything? And if you do, what is your favorite wrestling organization or wrestlers that are out? Or who is your favorite wrestler in general? I'm asking this for two, myself and my homegirl Key, who also likes to do it.
Talk about it. I'm a big pro wrestling fan. In another life, I would have loved to have been a pro wrestler, but I don't think I ever had it in me. So your questions, obviously I grew up with WWF, but I was actually my dad on a Friday, because basically Raw and Nitro back in the late 90s, they used to be on in the UK on a Friday. So Friday night to be at my dad's, and then one day I was watching WWF and he goes, "Why are you watching this? Have you not seen this other thing on TNT with this guy called Goldberg?" So we would switch to Nitro, and I guess 97, 98 when I was a kid was my favorite year, because you had probably I've always got love for the British Bulldog as a young British lad growing up, but 97 with Bret Hart, the Hart Foundation, and then Stone Cold Steve Austin. That era was just as the Attitude Era was bubbling before Bret Hart left. That was probably my fave. But also WCW, when Sting, NWO, Goldberg, all of that stuff. Now, I'm really disillusioned with WWE. So I haven't watched it for probably about a year, because I just, as much as I want to love him, like I was live at the NXT Takeover London a couple of years back, and I want them to do well and I want it to be good, but I think they just don't know how to do heroes and villains anymore. Nobody cheats. I don't know who I'm rooting for.
Wait, did you say nobody cheats? You said nobody cheats.
Nobody, it's the basic principles. I'll turn on WWE and I'll go, all right, so the bad guy just won fair and square. What do I do with that?
Okay, I'm really out of touch with wrestling. This
doesn't make any sense. So I think the basically what I now watch is I watch AEW every week. I don't think it's obviously I don't think it's like the perfect wrestling show, but I think it's the closest thing to great pro wrestling. I'm actually midway through watching catching up with Revolution. My favorites at the moment are male wise. I love Hangman Page. I think he's just a star. He's just an absolute star, and he could be the new Stone Cold Steve Austin. I just love him. I really like. Who else do I like? Obviously, you got love for Jericho. I think. Do you know who I'm really? I don't know whether you're watching it, Q, at the moment, but I'm really liking Platinum Max Caster. I think he's bloody brilliant.
Yes, yes.
He's just he just gets it, and I'm looking forward to him. Yeah, so those would be my favorites now. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree about the WWE. I think that's like one of my major problems with it. Like I'll still like, because I'm WWE, that's like I started I watched it at the tail end of the Attitude when I was way too young and shouldn't have been watching it. But like my real genesis of watching was like Ruthless Aggression, when Cena and Batista and Orton were starting to catch up, when starting to catch heat and starting to rise up. And now today, like Roman Reigns, he's finally came into his own and definitely digging what he's doing and whatnot. And NXT is always pretty consistent. But I definitely agree that to keep people engaged, they are failing at that, because you're right, there isn't any real definable heroes and villains. In my opinion, they don't really know how to do heroes in WWE anymore. Like sometimes you'll have like, they'll try to push a monster or have a conniving person, but then again, like you say, they'll win clean or they'll win too much to where the hero won't be compelling because they're just gonna come up short when it matters. And with AEW, I'm still trepidatious because I still need to see how much longevity they really have. Thankfully, like I keep up with it because Jon Moxley, former Dean Ambrose, that's one of my favorites. He's consistently well in the ring. Like you said, Hangman Page. I'm really digging the Dark Order stuff too. Like I really dig the goofiness of it. I'm kind of like I like seriousness and I like goofy stuff as well. But yeah, I'm kind of sort of in AEW. I really, really wish they would put more emphasis on their women's division, because women's wrestling, in my opinion, is one of the most consistent bright spots in wrestling, period. And so many women have taken what, the past women superstars like your Trish Stratus's and Chyna's and Lita's, and have done like taking it light years ahead. And I wish AEW would push them and give them a spotlight.
I think I'd love to see them nab a big WWE female wrestler and shake things up. Probably because my favorite, and I think WWE have mishandled her, but like 2 years ago, Sasha Banks was just fire, and it was just like total package. She's like so watchable. She's a star, whether she was doing the cheating thing and being a bit dastardly, or whether she was just being, a likable, glamorous star. But again, it's just kind of gone, and it's not her doing. It's just so I'd love to see someone like Sasha come into AEW and just like batter the hell out of everyone.
Yeah, that's you just nailed it. You just nailed it right on the head, and I'm gonna toss it to Aaron and Avia and Joe. You just because that's the biggest issue. It's so understandable. It's not these guys' fault. It's the creative aspect of it, and they're like constantly missing the boat with a lot of these guys. Hot, their apex and whatnot. Because my personal favorite in WWE period is Asuka, and I think back to her NXT run, and it was just perfect. She was undefeated her entire time, but it was never her steamrolling everyone. When it was time to steamroll, she would. But when she faced her equal, it was compelling and it made you believe. And then, even though she's literally won everything when she came to, the main roster, so to speak, it's never been comparable to her NXT days, and it should be, because the talent on the main roster should be given those opportunities, and it just haven't. And I'll say the same thing for Charlotte as well. She is everything that is advertised, but they keep wanting to do, and this is probably going to be controversial, but they keep defaulting her.
Time.
I'm sorry.
I know it's like you're like really, because when he gets going, but we're gonna have to have Sam back on Q and Key do wrestling, and you guys can really chop it up over. And
Let's get back on track, folks.
Yes. Yes. or your grandma's gonna call again about how this interview went. You know, you don't want to do that. So before we've got a few, we've got what 10 or so minutes left. I wanted to make sure we jump back in and we cover some of Sam's creative work.
Yes.
So you can like promote some of that. I know you gave us.
I can go longer than 10, by the way. If you guys can go longer than 10.
Okay. Don't tell Q that he'll start talking about wrestling again.
No, I'm talking to y'all. Definitely don't want to take it up.
So I was just going to ask about your web series. I saw it. I watched it. I got to say, I did not know you were just so into. I mean, that's some hardcore sci-fi that you were doing. And then I saw written and directed by. So you're writing and you're directing. What are some of the things that you're working on right now? And, you know, some of the things you want to do, you know, that are like kind of coming down the pipeline that we can, you know, support and reach out there and, you know, tell people about.
So the few I wrote it and I star in it, but I didn't direct it. That was Sam Bradford.
Okay.
And with him and Kyla Fry, who plays Jamie Scott, the character in The Few, the three of us are actually working on our own indie feature film at the moment. So I'm working on the script for that. It's a crime caper heist movie. So a bit Ocean's 11, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but also a bit Out of Sight, if you saw that movie with George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez.
Love that.
Which I think is a really underrated film. So we're working on that at the moment. So still in the pre-production for that. I've been doing bits and bobs of writing stuff, and directing wise, I actually directed a short film which we shot last year before the restrictions hit, and that's called Screw Job, and it's about a female professional wrestler who's a single mom, and she's potentially got one last like chance at getting a championship. So it's just a little, I think it's going to be probably about 10 minutes, just a little short, but I really wanted to create something in that wrestling world and see what I could do as a director. So that is in post-production. It's taken a bit longer than I wanted it to, but we'll be submitting that to festivals soon and hopefully releasing a few publicity images as well. So those would be the things. And then apart from that, I've been doing a lot of, and you know, thankful, I've been doing quite a few auditions. You know, the industry is picking back up. I've been doing auditions for American stuff, for British stuff. This week I just recorded a voiceover for a very huge brand. So you might hear my voice on a big brand soon. Although I think it might not be American. I think that they'll do it where they get a Brit for the Brit territory and an American for an American territory. But yeah, it's been it's going quite nicely. So I've got this feature film, and then apart from that, I'm just welcoming in some more auditions, and obviously, as a fan, looking forward to the 18th as well.
Cool,
That's
awesome,
dope.
awesome.
Sure.
Awesome.
And if it does end up being a territorial thing, I say release the Sam Benjamin voiceovers for the entire world to hear.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sam
we
Benjamin
know
cut.
what the original is.
Yes.
Yeah, we know what the original is. We got YouTube.
Get the VPN.
VPN for the commercial.
Second commercial.
Y'all, that's a lot. So I wanted to talk about your series, The Few, and is The Few out there where everyone can everyone see it? Is that still something that's?
Yeah, we released it on YouTube and Facebook a couple of years ago, but we actually because we were in talks with a producer who potentially wants to take it and either remake it or take it, put that out, and then make a second season. We had to take it down and keep it private for now. So we're talking with a producer in America about it. So it's one of those, behind the scenes, things can take ages. Sometimes things happen and then they move, then they stop, then they move again, and then you go, oh, okay. So at the moment, we're keeping it off, just so that the people that might want to take it have exclusivity on it. So we'll see. But I'd love to make it as, you know, with a proper big budget and do full-length episodes and really do an epic British superhero tale. So that would be pretty cool if we could do that.
I mean, so do you guys like have some kind of way of preventing them from bringing it over to America and replacing all the British actors with American? Because you know that's what they do usually. Rip off your stuff a lot, you know.
Well, no, I think when Sam Bradford and I created it together, we signed a little deal between each other that if we ever sold it, or if someone took it off us, we both have our own conditions. He's got certain minimum standards of being a director on it, and I've got certain standards about having a role in it and having a say on the story of it. So
see, there you go. You're not changing all the characters up, Hollywood.
No, but also the point to the few is that it is British and it's grounded in British traditions and culture. So there wouldn't really. The whole point is that it's like, what would happen if superheroes were in Britain? So I think the setup doesn't really work if you translate it to America, because you've got a whole entire multiverse on multiple strands from multiple brands in America. So I think you guys got it covered.
I mean, they've tried it. So it badly, but they've tried it.
Right.
Yep.
So dream project here. I want you to dreamcast. You've directed, you've written. If you could have any cast and be able to shoot any genre of film, what genre of film and what would be your ideal cast?
What a question. Whew. I don't even know where to start. I think for me, maybe just because of the way I grew up and what got me into acting, it would be a case of, I think the people that I'd want to work with would come before the genre. So, you know, I think about, you know, and two of my all-time favorite actors are, you know, Michael Keaton. It'd be an absolute dream to work with him.
Are you gonna say Batman film? Are you gonna say you want to do another Batman film?
I'll be with Michael Keaton in anything he wants me to be. But you know, there's loads of people, like obviously, you know, Tom Cruise. But you know, I'd love to. There's a couple of I don't know why, I don't know, but it's something about when you watch films in your early years, and there's several like actresses that I just think are absolutely magnificent, and so I'd love to be in a film with Diane Lane. I'd love to be in a film with Michelle Pfeiffer. I'd love to be in a film with Angela Bassett, and I'm trying to think of who. I'd love to be in a film with. This one isn't going to happen, I don't think, but because he's too old. But Jack Nicholson would have been big. And yeah, so I don't know, maybe a dance movie with Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. How about that?
Throw me in there too.
Okay.
White Men Can't Dance. That's what it's called.
Thank you. Please, I need this. White Man Can't Dance. We need to make this happen. I don't know how. Let's do this.
With Jack Nicholson and Diane Lane, and yeah, I can see it. Angela Bassett. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There's one thing I want to play for you real quick, Sam, because goes back to the Justice League talk and everything. And I'm going to play this, and then I want to get your reaction to it, because I think now that we've talked, something may have jogged your memory in this regard. So I'm going to play this real quick, and then I'll talk to you. So if you forgot a lot of what you shot back in 2016, I'm guessing you forgot the scene me and you were in. It was quite an electric scene.
That's the weird thing.
Oh my
I didn't forget.
like me and you, like Zach was like, "Yo, this is like the best scene." And they're gonna like he was like, God, they, like, can this even be in the movie? How real and how raw?
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, I was there.
I remember one
yeah,
too. I remember, but it was I remember one too.
Yeah, so like me and Ray were talking because we both were working the Zack Snyder's Justice League then. So, and I think I do remember seeing you that day, Sam. And I think you did have that conversation. I believe, yeah, because we were talking about the second NXT Takeover Brooklyn. You know, what was going on? You know, the we were talking about that.
Yeah, I think that wasn't that the day after Sasha Banks and I went on that date. And then
that was you.
That was
that was.
Oh man, see
that was awesome.
I remember that.
Yeah,
that all makes sense.
Yeah, this is
wow.
You know, we got to give the people 9 days out from the cut dropping, so we gotta give them these exclusives that they wouldn't have heard because it's been a hot minute, and we finally getting to meet up officially once again and really get to shoot the poop and everything. So it's I'm glad that the truth is continuing to come out, and we all know what to expect on March 18th on HBO Max.
Spoiler alert, but I think it's great that we finally get to see a Black Robin after Tim Burton tried to make it happen.
Right, like I know there's been a lot of leaks going on, but I can confirm this. Like we can confirm this.
I love it. I don't think they're ready, though. I don't think they're ready.
I don't think so.
No, they're not. But they'll get over it. They'll get over it.
Oh, this one is gonna be good. Guys.
Oh man. Oh.
Okay. My questions are gone, and my head is like you've like burned my head. This is the point where all composure is gone. So, all right. So we had like I said, we planned on trivia. We planned on doing a little game. I don't know if we have we have time for trivia, or do you guys want to introduce Sam to our weird would you rather type games?
I think that'll work. What y'all think?
I can stay on for another 45.
Oh wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we can do that. Okay, who wants to kick it off?
Aaron?
Oh my god. Oh. Okay. Wait, which one am I doing?
It's a would you can do either or. So right now we got another.
Okay, I'm gonna mix them. I'll figure out. I'm gonna mix them. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you rather? Oh, okay. No, let's do it like this. Would you rather get the Joel Schumacher Batman Triumph where they were gonna bring back Jack Nicholson's Joker, or would you rather get the third Burton Batman film, which would have had Robin Williams as Riddler?
Is that for me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It would definitely be the third Burton film. Definitely.
Man of taste. This man has taste. I just want everybody to know.
Do you have a question, a trivia question, or one for us?
Well, I actually prepared because you asked. I prepared.
Yes,
I prepared 10 questions on Michael Keaton's Batman.
Oh, bet.
There we go. Okay.
Quick fire. We can test the knowledge.
Yes. The two brains of the group. We got them right here.
Oh,
Avia and Joe. Yes, you are absolutely right.
That's right.
Okay, so question. So this is anything to do with Michael Keaton's Batman. Okay. Question 1. What brand provided Michael Keaton's Bat boots?
Jordan. If I'm not mistaken, there were Jordans of an A.
I'll give you that. I don't know if they were Jordans, but they were definitely Nikes.
Oh,
All right. Number 2. What song plays at the beginning of the Masquerade Ball in Batman Returns?
I just saw this movie like 3 or for
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Oh, at the beginning.
Yeah. As in,
Was it a Prince song?
Sorry.
Was it a Prince song?
No.
No.
Prince was in Batman '89. He wasn't in Returns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kid-
I'm
kiss
done.
All I remember was Face to Face. I know that wasn't at the beginning.
So I'll put you out of your misery. So just before Face to Face, there's a live band playing Rick James' Super Freak.
It is.
Oh my god.
I remember when I was a kid, I thought it was "You Can't Touch This" by MC Hammer, but then I realized it was Super Freak.
Because MC Hammer ripped, kind of borrowed from.
Sampled it.
Yeah.
Number 3. This is a tricky one. Or is it? I don't know. In what war-torn territory did Vicki Vale travel to and take pictures of before she arrived in Gotham?
Afghanistan.
No, the Corto Maltese, which is in The Dark Knight Returns.
Mm.
Daniel was going to be one of the story world countries and not a real one.
No, it's
I couldn't remember the name. I couldn't remember the name.
What does Joker write in purple letters on one of the paintings in the museum?
Oh my gosh.
Well, we got to watch this movie again because
I
I'm
know
like,
this. Oh my
Right?
I can see the scene, but I can't.
These are hard.
Let me call my friend Google real quick.
The answer is Joker was here.
Yeah. Yep.
Why didn't I just guess that? Why did I just guess that? Why did I not just guess that? Oh, I'm sorry.
What was the name of Max Schreck's son?
Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. Oh my god.
I'm just going to say Max Schreck Jr. and I'm going to forfeit. No, I'm not. That's a lie. That's a lie. It was.
Matt Schreck.
Chip.
I'm Matt.
Matt.
Chip.
Damn it. Oh god.
What's the first line Michael Keaton's Batman ever says?
I'm Batman.
I want you to tell all your friends about me. That's
Something like that.
I'm not gonna kill you.
Oh shit.
And
then he proceeds to kill like 80 people in that.
Right.
What is the name of the theater in Tim Burton's Gotham?
Monarch, right?
Correct.
Yeah, because it stuck to the comics. Yeah.
Boom.
Monarch.
This is a random one. Before Batman fires a grappling hook to spring them to safety, how much does Vicki Vale say she weighs?
Whew. See, now you're just trying to make us look bad. By asking this question. I am going to guess and say I weigh 92 pounds. And that is an Office reference because when Angela is like, "So
Yes.
can I go up there? You're too heavy. I weigh 92 pounds. Same bandit." I'm sorry.
It's 108.
So I was 4.
We'll give you it. We'll give you the points on that one.
Well,
Barely right.
What song plays while Joker is going along the Gotham anniversary float parade?
See, I thought you were gonna say when he was in the art gallery, and I know that one, but now I don't because I forgot that one.
Some good questions, man. These are really good. I'm like texting a friend. At my house,
okay.
so it's like I'm like drawing a blank.
So
And he's like, "What the hell are you doing right now?" So that's the answer I got.
the answer is Trust by Prince.
I should have just guessed Prince since he did the soundtrack. Mine.
Right.
I don't know why.
And what song plays during the art museum for a final question?
That other song by Prince.
Yes.
I have the soundtrack. I mean, I don't understand why I can't remember the names of the songs that played during the movie, but I have the soundtrack. I played it like until it was like
Begins with a P.
Where's Mike? Because Mike is the Batman. He's the Batman Returns fan, and he would have gone ahead and he would have saved us from this embarrassment of not knowing these very important and easy questions.
With
Party Man.
Party Man. Oh my God.
I totally knew that.
Forgive me.
I totally knew that. Yep, I knew that the whole time. Nope.
Okay, so I propose a watch party. We need to redeem ourselves, and then trivia after. Maybe.
Yeah, we got to because we gotta redeem ourselves because we embarrassed ourselves in front of Sam Benjamin.
Just don't tell Michael that if he's watching, he's going to be devastated.
Oh, he will be.
Okay, so devastated is not the word. Not letting us put this down. And yeah, that's about the size of it. So
yep. Well, that is exactly what's going to happen, and it's not going to be a fun time.
So I do want to ask, why that Batman? Why is that one your favorite out of all of them? Besides the Prince soundtrack, because that's the right answer. But
I think it was it's the first Batman live action that I ever saw, so I think that has a big factor. And it was one of those movies that I watched as a kid over and over again. I think it's got two of the greatest actors of all time in it. And there's something about, as I got older, because when I was a kid, up until I was 11, I was an only child. And a lot of the time I just lived with my mum. So I had a lot of time to myself. So even though it sounds kind of silly, I related to that Michael Keaton Bruce Wayne of being shy, sitting in the cave, doesn't know how to interact at the party, and he's kind of not very confident, it seems, but yet when he goes out and puts the suit on, he can be everything that he needs to be. So I really like that element, and I think the style of it, the Gotham City design of it, it's really comic book. I like that Burton did something with it rather than just let's translate it. I actually like the Joker killed his parents in that movie. I just think it's such a powerful moment, even though I know it's not comic book accurate. I love that showdown when they're looking at each other and it's like, well, you made me first. I just love that element, and I think Keaton is so subtle, and he has that comic timing that something that isn't in the Dark Knight trilogy. I think even though I love Bale's interpretation, it was a different version. Mm-hmm. Something about Keaton's like comic timing and his like sense of humor within it that I just loved. And obviously Danny Elfman soundtrack, Prince soundtrack, and the suit just looks gorgeous still.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Guys, questions? Questions from Q, Avia, Aaron?
I'm still trying to accept the fact that I failed this amazing 89 quiz. I mean, Well,
I personally, Sam, I blame this man as to why I did not know most of those questions.
It's me, Austin. It's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin.
Yeah, see, I was
From your
actually,
childhood.
I was actually watching these Batman movies with Vince McMahon in a Zoom call because he's like, well, pal, I hear you do stuff with DC content, and I think I can help you because I was a young man when these movies came out. And all the while, he was plotting to make sure I forgot this stuff, so when it came time for a quiz, I wouldn't be able to answer it. So that is who's at fault, the higher power, Vince McMahon.
Yeah, that sounds really plausible. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I was not
It did happen.
You're acting like a heel now.
Oh,
Giving excuses.
See?
Hey, if you ask the question, I'm in deep shame now. I'm in utter shame.
Utter shame. Well, do you want to ask some trivia questions of Sam and the rest of us? Or is that rematch for another time?
I have one solitary trivia question.
Okay. Is it wrestling?
No. But it's a Batman trivia question. Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
What is the final riddle Batman told the Riddler in Batman Forever?
I see without seeing. To me, darkness is as clear as daylight. What am I?
You're as blind as a bat. That's awesome. That's awesome. You are officially the inaugural MulDiversity Trivia Champion. We will mail you your golden trophy. Spoilers, it's not really golden.
Yes.
And it's not really there's no trophy.
It's platinum. No?
platinum.
Yeah, let's go with that one. It's platinum.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's made of vibranium. So
Yeah.
I mean, you can pick up in Wakanda. So you will. So that's about the size of it. So, Aaron, you got any questions in you? Any trivia?
Oh my gosh.
That was a good question, Q.
Yeah. Oh,
Thank you. I love Batman Forever.
Yeah, I was shocked you got it. That was really good. That was really
okay.
Good.
Why did Max Shrek push Selena out of the window?
Because she accessed all of the protected files in his office.
Yeah, okay. Look, not everybody.
Not yet.
It's good to see you. We have Sam on. You're great. You know, you enjoy that trophy. We're gonna get it back. I promise. Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as Wakanda opens, we'll get it for you. Avia?
Yes.
It's not necessarily trivia, but it's just a question. Do you consider Batman Returns a Christmas movie?
Yep.
King of taste.
I mean, the final line is Merry Christmas, Alfred. Goodwill to all men and women.
King of taste. Where were you for the Christmas episode?
Good, because we had a
gosh.
Christmas episode.
Did you guys have a big debate?
Yeah,
something like
we
that.
had a debate about
No,
And,
don't bring it back.
So
Don't bring it back.
somebody on this panel decides that Into the Spider-Verse is a Christmas movie.
Which it is. Which it most
Which
certainly
it is
is.
not. Which it is not.
Because it literally has a snowman with a Santa Claus hat.
Having snow and a snowman doesn't make it a Christmas movie. You have to
But
have
and the themes are representative of things.
themes? What themes are Christmas? There's no Christmas themes in this. Okay, Mr. Benjamin.
There are actually.
Okay, let's let our guest chime in on this.
I've only seen it once, so I can't really get my head around it at the moment.
Thank you.
Nice save. Nice
So,
save.
but
Yeah.
since we have a guest, I'm not
We've
gonna
been fighting for 3 months over this. Okay, this is like a 3-month battle.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go into detail because we have a guest, and I don't want to bore him with the many accuracies and the bulletproof points I have that solidifies Into the Spider-Verse as a Christmas film. All I will say is that if Sam acknowledges Batman Returns as the Christmas film that we all
because
know.
it actually legitimately it like interacts with the holiday. Yours has the holiday as a freaking backdrop. It just happens to take place then. To be a
With
Christmas movie, you have to actually have Christmas themes. And the Into the Spider-Verse does not.
I'm still waiting on that rule book that states all of those things that you said is fact.
Oh, I'll write it up for you.
So you're going to create the rule.
Yeah,
So Sam, what'd you eat today?
Mistletoe, but it can be very deadly if you eat it.
Okay, well, you know what? This interview's over.
No.
It has been really nice having you on. Really great that this I did not expect the smackdown that we got. I mean, I know that I told you to prepare questions and you prepared questions. I didn't think that would be that good.
Well, I've got to be honest. It was kind of your fault because you suggested trivia, and then I thought, oh God, I'm going up because I've watched a few of your episodes, and I thought these guys are going to absolutely roast me.
Yeah.
So I thought I've got to bring. And then you said, well, you bring your questions about Keaton's Batman. So I did, and I thought I'm going to have to go all out just in case.
See,
he went all out.
And just like totally creamed us. That was like, that was good. That was really, really good. I just, we can't recover.
No, Mike is going to really let us have it. Like it's an understatement on how badly Mike is going to let us have it when he sees it. And
it's okay. I mean, I've accepted it. You know.
Well, we've solidified. You know, who's the real Batman expert?
Well, who are your? Can you tell me each of your favorite? Who's your favorite Batman? Each of you. Ooh. Either the film or the actor.
I guess I'll say that my favorite actor, of course, is Ben Affleck. His role, his turn in the BVS is just impeccable. It's like top of the peak. But I will say this is going to be highly controversial when I give you the story.
Clooney.
Batman Forever is my favorite Batman movie, and I will say that it is. I would put it above The Dark Knight in what it in the.
Interesting.
While I'll concede that The Dark Knight is obviously the better acted movie, the theme of Batman Forever resonates more so with the mythos of Batman than The Dark Knight does. And The Dark Knight is a very intricate, a very good Joker, not even very good. It's an amazing Batman versus Joker story, but it's not hard to replicate that level of greatness with that type of material. Anybody who knows Batman could, in their field, tell that good of a Batman and Joker story. You know, like you look at the Arkham games, you look at the animated series. It's not hard when you know this character to do a good Batman versus Joker story. However, it is hard to tell a Batman story where not only does he comes to terms with his parents' death, but he makes the decision to continue being Batman because he understands that he doesn't need the grief and the pain to do good. He can actually use that and turn it into happiness and joy, which in turn will make him a better Batman because all of the fear and mistrust and anger he had previously no longer hinders him. And now he can be more effective and be the beacon of hope Gotham deserves.
Well, that's great and all. That's great and all, but I mean, you got all that in Batman Returns, and that's why Batman Returns is the better Batman film.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that.
That's why. Thank you, Q, for articulating my whole point of why Batman Returns is the better Batman film, because you still have all of that, plus the hopefulness and hopelessness that everyone loves to get out of Batman by the end of the film, because he accepts that he may not get Selina, but the fight still goes on because Gotham needs Batman. Thank you, Q, for articulating that.
Does Batman Returns have In Vogue? Does it have Jim Carrey?
He doesn't need it. I mean, just because a circus has a lot of bells and whistles, does it make it good? I mean, it's a great movie. Don't get me wrong. Tommy Lee Jones was fine in it, I guess, but You know, I mean, that direct sequel, you know, that direct sequel to the Burtonverse. I mean, come on, you can't just pass that up. It's a Christmas movie. It's got the whole it just consequences. The theme of no, we're not doing this anyway. So, hey, what's your favorite Batman movie?
Well, let's see. I'm gonna go different, and I'm gonna go the animated way, and I'm gonna go with the Dark Knight Returns. Part one.
Okay, well.
If we're going that route, because it shows that, you know, even though Bruce is older, he still got it. Like he still got it, and also incorporates all the other League members. You know, Arrow, Superman, all of them. So
true.
And it's definitely a more mature cartoon, and it's that, you know, even adults will love to watch. And, you know, the graphic novel is just out of this world. It's amazing. And my favorite Batman is Kevin Conroy, for sure, because he's the voice of my child.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
he's still doing it. He's still voicing Batman. So, I mean,
He's great.
He's amazing.
Okay, so so I'm gonna give my reason for my favorite Batman. Don't judge me, but my favorite Batman movie is the one is, I think you said Batman Forever. And it was because it was because of Jim Carrey, but, you know, little preteen me had like a crush on Val Kilmer, so, you know, that was all that going on. And seeing him as a superhero was like, oh my god. But I like Jim Carrey in that one. So
can I replace my answer instead of Batman Returns?
Can I Val Kilmer too, and that's why you want
can I say Mask of the Phantasm? I'm just putting that. Mask of the Phantasm. That's one. I'm just, that's better than anyway.
I mean, definitely worth it. Definitely worth its weight in gold. No one's gonna say Mask of the Phantasm is bad. I do need folks to put more respect on Batman Sub-Zero. That they need.
Why though?
Yeah.
Why?
It's all right. It's cool. It's cool. Why? See what I did there?
It's cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Would y'all rather watch Batman and Robin or Batman Sub-Zero? Let me just
Batman and Robin.
Because
let's kick some ice.
Because of stuff like that. The puns are horrible. We've been building up to this. I think we actually need to do it. A Batman movie bracket. Right. This year, there's some big anniversaries. I think we should do a bracket of, you know, where we and Q, you can explain the bracket system. How will go down.
Yes, because folks have accused.
Use your conception anyway.
Since folks have accused us in the past of cooking the books, it is based off of box office take. You know, the highest grosses versus the lowest grossing, et cetera, go like that. As a person who once voted Batman as one of the best DC characters of all time, I am very much. This is what we call revisionist history. Look, y'all, we're wasting Sam Benjamin's time with all of this. We got to get to the point. We can't talk about what I said and may or may not have said in the past.
We got what may or may not be true. Yeah, we cannot waste time on truth.
I'm building up my heel wrestler resume right now, guys. I'm trying to build that up. But no, in all seriousness, we do the brackets based off of highest to lowest grossing, and we just have these things punch each other in the face until one of them stands tall as the definitive thing in its world. We've done a best and worst DC characters once upon a time. We've done more recently the Zack Snyder movies. BVS came out on top of that one. And yeah, I'd be down to do the Batman movies now. Are we going to include the animated movies? Because, you know, we got it. That's a nice little chunky of animated movies. And if we are, I can't guarantee that I'm going to move heaven and earth to see Return of the Joker Batman Beyond at least make it into the finals against Batman Forever. I'm letting you know now.
I mean, if you don't, I would be very disappointed.
But should the animated be in with the film though? Aren't they like?
Sure.
Well, let me math it like this. By the time we decide to do it, it'll be before the Batman comes out. And so that will be 7 movies if we exclude the Batman 66 one with Adam West and DVS, which I know a lot of people do consider itself to be a Batman.
Okay, so films, but what if we just say films and not series? Like one off. It's just a story and that's it.
Yeah, there's the old school and Adam West show did have its own dedicated movie to it.
Oh, it did? I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Everybody else is nodding but me. Okay. I'm the only one who didn't know this.
That's the one Eartha Kitt is in the movie.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right. So so we're gonna have to set up a bracket so we can see which movie wins out. Or what if we do movies and then animated, and then whoever wins the animated is up against the winner of the movie?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Oh, okay. I like it. Interesting.
Okay. To be continued. Well,
no, you should have said same bat time, same bat channel.
Oh,
Nice.
I mean, it's been great having you here, Sam, with to deal with our foolishness and our questions about just everything under the sun. I told you it wouldn't just be about Zack Snyder's Justice League, and the rest was up for grabs. So, and then for basically showing us our asses with trivia, we appreciate that. Love to see it again. No, just kidding. We would love to have you back anytime, especially when we do this the Batman what are we gonna call it?
BVB, Dawn of the Bat. I don't know.
Anyway,
the Bat Cup.
The Bat Cup. Okay. So yeah, it's been great having you here. So
well, thank you guys. I just want to say thank you guys for inviting me on. I feel honored. I love what you guys do. You're fighting the good fights and keep doing what you're doing. And I hope you guys enjoy Snyder's Justice League on the 18th. Whether my moment is in it or not, this is one for the fans, isn't it? And it's good. Better times and better days are coming.
Yes.
True.
Okay, everyone, tell us where they can find you. Tell everybody where they can find you, and let's sign off.
All right, let's start off with Mr. Benjamin himself.
Where can the good people find you? And what's up next for you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Sam Benjamin Now, NOW. On Vero at Sam Benjamin. And next up, who knows? There may be a feature film in the works. I'm auditioning for things and looking forward to things opening up. And I'm looking forward to getting myself back over to the States as well to visit all you cool people over there.
Yeah. Okay, great. And then that commercial that
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay. Well, and we Q the okay.
If you want to watch a cheesy British action movie, I Am Vengeance Retaliation is on Netflix in the US and UK. It's got Vinnie Jones in it. It's got WWE legend Bad News Barrett, aka Stu Bennett, as well as me. Fighting people, getting his ass kicked, and cracking some jokes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's got good footwork. You guys ought to check it out. You really, really, really should. Q.
Yes, ma'am.
Where can they find you? Let's go around.
They can find me every Wednesday night on MulDiversity's YouTube channel, where I be doing things like annoying my co-stars, my co-workers, my co-people, my families. Where they can find me and Key talk about the wrestling. Me and Sam, we need to have you on, Sam. We really, really do, because we can dog walk WWE as long as possible. Find me every Sunday night at 7:40 Central Standard Time into the Q-Universe, where me and my brother talk about everything geeky, gamey, and nerdy, and some other cool stuff like my Twitch channel and some new projects on the MulDiversity channel that should be coming up fairly soon. Joe, let them know where they can find you.
You can find me at Jonita L. Davis. You can find some of my new interviews at Black Cape Media on YouTube, and theblackcape.com, where I have my reviews as well. A weekly MulDiversity Live tomorrow night. And you can, this is going to be played tomorrow night, so anyway, scroll that back. And you can find me weekly on The Mess with Mike, talking about the messiest drama out there. And you can also find me on Bitch What every week on Fridays and Saturdays, where we talk about what's going on with women in the world, and particularly Black women. So yeah. And Jonita L. Davis all over social media.
Of course, I am Aaron Michael, the posh spice of this MulDiversity group. You can thank you. You can find me. I thought I could do it with a straight face. I really did.
Nope.
If you're posh, I'm scared. I'm scared.
You can find me everywhere on all social media platforms at Aaron_Michael_J. You can find me on Comic Book Debate, writing tons of New Gods articles, except when I don't. You can also find me on To Lovecraft and Back with Mike, where we talk about Lovecraft Country and other things. We definitely got to talk about stuff. You can find me on the Untitled A&A show with Avia, where we are going to be talking about anything and everything that we want to dog walk. You can find me sometimes on The Mess with Joe and Mike. You can find me just being a crazy wild man on Twitter. I don't know what else you want from me. So yeah, there you go.
I'm claiming that I'm the sporty spice of the group.
Oh, this is bigger.
It's the scary spice of the
Now
group.
we really
Everybody.
Yes.
It's the scary spice of the group. You can find me on all social media at Avia Knighton. You can catch me on MulDiversity with my MulDiversity fam every Wednesday at 7:30, as well as Bitch What on Friday and Saturday with my girls Keaton and Joe, as well as the Untitled A&A show with Aaron, where we're definitely going to shake the table. So look out for those.
Yes. And in any case, we have been MulDiversity. Thank you once again, Sam, for coming out and kicking it with us. This was awesome. We really, 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 really can't wait to do it with you more in the future on a litany of things.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you've been awesome. You've been really, really awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We will see y'all later. Peace.
Peace, people.
Bye.
Peace.
Okay.